Hello, my name is Tina Arnold. I am a crocheter, a knitter, and a maker sometimes of other things. I live in Louisiana with my husband of 13 years and my mom. This is our dog Onyx. She is a rescue from the pound. Not exactly sure what breed she is or breeds. There's 2 other dogs in the house, so you may hear barking or growling. We take care of 3 horses and 6 goats too. And a bearded dragon. Cannot forget the bearded dragon. He's a little demanding. Fresh veggies all the time. Anyways, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and Caroline of the Dunder Knits podcast started a thing of you can blame Caroline or blame Dunder Knits for this. So I didn't really have a project that I was working on that I could blame Caroline for or Dunder Knits, and this is something I wanted to do, and I decided I'm blaming Caroline, Dunder Knits, for my first podcast. Caroline is a knitter, and she's in England, and she's fabulous. But my first project I'm going to talk about is crochet. This is a blanket that I've been working on for a while, like 6 months. It's called, let me check my notes, the Crochet Mountain Range Blanket, and I found it on YouTube from as you can see, Mikey of the Crochet Crowd. Oh, got it upside down. Here's the where I've been working. And it's single crochet. Mikey did a tutorial on explained how the stitches work, and you can find it there. It's a very textured and great blanket. I think my problem with it is it's single crochet, and it's going very slowly because, and I've made this, I've got 2 different styles of yarn. I don't think that's the right label, but it's I'm hooking it on this. This is my crochet hook I'm using for it, and I wore the size off. I think this is a 7. Size 7. I'm not sure what letter that is. But Mikey of the Crochet Crowd is really an awesome teacher. Him and Claire of Bob Wilson 123 are who I followed over 10 years ago to learn crochet, because I have been crocheting since 2010, and they're great teachers, and they have a lot of videos. You should really check them out. But this This is supposed to be the size of a twin bed. And as you can tell, it goes this way. It's gonna take me forever. My first plan was to have this done for Christmas. This past Christmas. Yeah. Actually, my granddaughter's birthday, which was November. She turned 6. Then it was Christmas. Now I'm thinking Valentine's Day, but let's be realistic. It'll probably be Christmas of next year. Or, well, this year. Hopefully. I'm hoping sooner, but at this rate, Christmas. So that's, and it's living in this bag, which is just, it's just a tote bag I found at Dollar Tree. It's a little, and it's I've had it for 2 years now. It's held up very good. Next thing I want, when I finish this, my granddaughter, I found a sweater pattern that I want to make. It's the velveteen cardigan for kids. And it's just a simple little pullover sweater because she's got this fancy knitted sweater that she loves to death, that she wants to wear all the time, but it's really just for church or going somewhere really special. So I thought I would make her another little cardigan to wear, to play in and roam around in. That's my next crochet goal. I'm trying to hold off on starting it till I have this one done, but probably not gonna happen. I'm probably gonna start it. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm doing right now for crochet. What I'm doing for knitting. And I have 2 projects right now on the go. One that goes with me everywhere. This is, I want to talk about these. I got this badge from Christy of the Secret Yarnery. I don't know, can we see it? And then this is one of the badges from Crochet Luna. But I won this badge from Hooked on Owls from Lacey 2 years ago. And then this little badge I got at, am I disturbing you, my dear? I got from Knit Picks. And then this one, which I love because it's gold. This one is from Expression Fiber Arts. I got some of her yarn. And then I most recently, and this little zebra is from Attic Yarns. It's their little Spot the Zebra pin that I won from Hannah from the Cozy Cottage. And I also won some from her, some lovely minis. I just haven't figured out what I want to do with them. And these adorable stitch markers. There's a zebra. Can you see it? And then a rainbow. And these all came from the Zebra Rainbow kit from the Attic Spin Die. This all came from, they donated to Hannah's podcast for a prize. So this all came from the Attic Spin Die, but it came through Hannah of the Cozy Cottage podcast. Trying to make sure I get everything all right. But now that I've talked to you about my pins and my purse, which I can keep everything I need for my personal life in the front zip, but in the back zip per section is what I'm working on, which is Grandma's dishcloth, and this is a free pattern. And this is what I take when I go to the doctor. I just started a new one, or have to wait in line at the pharmacy to pick up medications, or wait somewhere, like when I take someone to PT. I work on this, and it just fits in my bag. And I know everybody has socks on the go, and I did for quite some time, but I've discovered that we really need new wash rags. So I found that free pattern thanks to Amy of Stranded Dye Works. She was knitting them before she lost her knitting mojo, and I really liked the way they looked, so I got the pattern, and I've made 2 now, but they're in the wash, so they're not to be seen, and I've got the 3rd one started. My other knitting project, which I have the yarn for it over here. Are you getting on the blanket? She's going to snuggle on the blanket. I am working on my very first sweater. It's the Flax Pullover by Tin Can Knits. And I know this yarn's kind of peely, but it's what I have in my stash, and I don't have a whole lot of yarn, so I'm working from stash. And the needles that I was using for this, I forgot, sorry. These are interchangeables, and I got these little, I don't know if you can tell, those are yarn balls. I got those at Hobby Lobby, but these are interchangeable needle set that I got off of Amazon, and they're knit picks. Yeah, they're a set of knit picks. They come in this lovely case, which I've added more needle interchangeable sets to. But I love this case. Love it, love it, love it. Did you see it? I'm asking my husband, he's helping me. He's being my cameraman. So I'm knitting them on another set of interchangeable Knitter's Pride. These are I can't think of the color, but I love the color of this wood. They're wooden needles forgot to put the memory card in my phone, which is what I'm recording on. And that's why it kept stopping on us. So, let's see. This is the flax pullover by Tin Can Knits. I have my little stitch markers for the arms to help me remember when to do the pattern part of the arm. And I have my stitch marker to mark. It says made with love. I have that to mark my beginning of round. And then this is a stitch marker that I made. This is a little owl charm that I found either at Joann's or Hobby Lobby. And these are just earring backs. Because the needles and the crochet hook and all that will go through them. So that's where I was last week up here. This is what all I've done this week. I'm trying to keep track. So I think that's pretty much it. So I was saying that if your acrylic yarn is scratchy, you can soak it in lukewarm water with conditioner, and it doesn't have to be expensive conditioner. It can be a bottle of conditioner you got at the Dollar Tree, and just swish it around with nothing but the conditioner and leave it 30 minutes. Then wash it how you would normally wash it, and it's usually so stinking soft it's unbelievable. So, and the yarn I'm using for Jade's project is acrylic as well, because that's what I can afford right now. But I want to give a little shout out. This is the giant Alaska bowl. It's woodbowl.com from Fairbanks, Alaska. It's a yarn bowl that my son got me for Christmas. Not this year, but the year before. I love it so much. I just love it. And more cotton yarn to make more wash rags. So I will put my back in its little bowl and set that there. So that's my knitting projects that I'm working on right now. This what I'm wearing, I forgot to tell you. This is, I love this yarn. And the colorway itself does the changing of colors. This is a skein and a half. And it's just, there isn't a pattern. I just did this in the round, and I made sure my beginning chain was twisted. So when I worked in the round, the first row was extremely long because I went around both sides, and so it's like the center is the start, and then it's all out like this, and it's very soft and warm because it's a little chilly in here tonight. I know it's nothing compared to up north, which is where I'm originally from. I'm originally from Southern Illinois, and I know it can get very, very cold up there. And I have family in New Hampshire that I've visited a couple of times, and even in the summer, it can be cold. I mean, 60 in the middle of summer is not a hot summer day. But to my aunt, it was. She's like, this is so hot. I was like, no, it's not. I keep the pattern I'm working on a clipboard, but I have my show notes here. I also, when I'm done with a pattern, the only way I have found to keep them and to keep them safe is I have this spiral notebook binder clip, and I get these clear sheets, and this is not all that organized. It was, but I've kind of overflowed it. But like right here is a fingerless gloves pattern. You see? And the pattern itself is in its own little folder. And that's how I keep my patterns organized. And like this section is socks. And this section is, this is what I want to make for Kalisha, the Quirky Monday podcast. She's going to do a Pisces along. I want to make some more of these. They are, I can't remember if this is a free pattern or not, so, but it's a seahorse by Connie Harting, I think. But I found the pattern on Ravelry, and I printed out. Now, these are my blanket patterns. I like to do crochet graphic blankets, and maybe next time I will show you what I did for my mom two winters ago. I made her Snoopy blanket. It took forever. But, like cows. But it's a little I have knitting and crochet patterns in here, and I want to get it to where I want to get a second book to keep knitting patterns in one and crochet patterns in another. Because one of my goals this year is to make garments for myself that I'll actually wear, and garments and things, gift, because I'm really good at making gift knits. I mean, I knitted my sister's socks. I knitted my mom and my husband's socks. I've knitted my son 2 pairs of socks, and my daughter-in-law 2 pairs of socks, and I did socks for my grandbaby, and I've made shawls and scarves and hats and things, and I always give everything away. I hardly ever keep anything I made. I've kept this, which I needed a scarf when we lived up north, but I don't need it that much down here, just on chilly nights. And I crocheted this shawl. This shawl pattern came from The Secret Yarnery from Krista. This is made out of 2 mandala, and I can't remember the colorway, but it's so bright and pretty. And I can pass it up or let it go. So, but I've never really wore it. I made it, and I look at it, and I put it on the back of the love seat every now and then, but Do I wear my knits or crochet projects? No. And that's something I want to change. I want to make things and actually use them. My husband made me a kick spindle, and I have been given some fiber to learn to spin my own yarn, which is not going that great. I have got to figure out that. I've been watching all kinds of YouTube videos on how to drop spindle, which I have 2 drop spindles, but I could not get the hang of that. So I got this book because these little tabs. I got this book because she talks to you about how to make your own drop spindle, your own kick spindle, your own spinning wheel, and then other little yarny goodness things that you need for making your own fiber. And there's so much information in here. It is a very, very good book. I need to finish reading it. I have read so much and then got excited and often went and tried projects. So I would really recommend this, the Spinning and Dyeing Yarn by Ashley. I don't have a clue how you pronounce your last name. Can you see it? It's right there. Can you see it in the camera? Thank you, cameraman. So, those are my books that I wanted to talk about. And I found out today, right before I went to podcast, I got a notice in my emails that I had emails in Ravelry, off of Ravelry, which is a great site. Y'all, if you don't know about it, you should check it out. And Kalisha of the Quirky Monday podcast was running a little, what do they call it? Make-along or something. Anyways, I entered. She wanted to know your word of the year or, inspirational thing. And I entered that and didn't think I would win, but apparently I did. So, Kalisha sent me a pattern from Jessica. It's the Hope Shawl. It's a knitting pattern. And I will have to get all that information because I don't have it in front of me. But I just found out I won that pattern today. And I wanted to thank Kalisha for talking about Hannah of the Cozy Cottage, because I don't think I would have found her because she comes up more as a crocheter than a knitter, and I was looking for knitting podcasts, and I hadn't even thought of looking for crochet podcasts, but I've opened up. I do both, so why not watch both? So Luna of the Luna is, it's the Luna, I went blank. But I have several podcasts I follow now, and they're not just knitting. Several of the ladies I follow knit and crochet, or crochet and knit. Lacey of Hooked on Owls crochets and knits. Holly of The Proper Pineapple crochets and knits. Those are just a few I can think of. I wanted to make this podcast because I want to be accountable towards what I'm doing, not just to myself, but to hopefully fans or viewers or friends. And I wanted to try to podcast at least once a month and be able to update you on the blanket and the sweater, and hopefully I'll have many more wash rags made and be done with that and back to socks, because I'm really itching to put on some socks on my needles. I haven't tried crocheted socks, but I've seen a couple of patterns, so that may be something I check into next. But I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed this, and that hopefully you'll come back when I do another one. Happy knitting, crocheting, making. Bye.